Number 10. Chica, the Silver Eyes. In the FNAF novel The Silver Eyes, Chica is one of the animatronics that appears. Here we learn of her origins. Her origin story, by the way, is of course terrifying and follows a lot of what we expect considering the lore that we have learned in the games. Chica is an animatronic who becomes haunted and possessed by the vengeful spirit of a young girl named Susie, who was attending a friend's birthday party at Freddy's when she was murdered by William Afton, disguised in an old Spring Bonnie suit. It's also suggested that it was Charlie's father who made the animatronics, not William, in the potential alternate or parallel universe from the Silver Eyes novel. Number 9. Scratched Chica. FNAF AR Special Delivery. This version of Chica is covered in scratches and scuffs. Other than that, she looks very similar to her original version, but there is something terrifying about her slightly tarnished appearance, as though she's been semi-neglected but is still obviously in well enough functioning order to come after you and potentially kill you in anger for the neglect that she has suffered. Her jump scare is particularly terrifying in the AR mobile game. Number 8. Phantom Chica, FNAF 3. This version of Chica just looks terrifying, but the nice thing is at least she can't hurt you because she's just a ghost. She can definitely make you feel like you're going to have a heart attack though, so I don't know, does that count? Phantom Chica, like the other Phantom versions of the animatronics, appears to be burnt up with long black ash stains on her and glowing white spectral eyes.
And it's 7 dog bait. It was already a mystery as to how Afton managed to lure these kids away from their parents, even if it was with characters they trusted. It's a wonder why they didn't call it stranger danger or something similar. But thanks to Chica, and more importantly her high school years, we were able to get an answer. Afton manipulated the kids through their grief. For Chica, it was her dead dog, which we see multiple times, but get a solid answer for an ultimate custom night during the intermissions for Toy Chica, the high school years, which sounds like a video someone put on the orange YouTube, but after ensuring that we all knew Chica was 18 at the time. Oh god, hopefully that's not an actual video. No matter, after Chica said that she would say that someone ran over Twisted Wolf's dog in front of her house, I think we all figured it out. We had ideas beforehand, but this just set it in stone. But this also begs the question, if Twisted Wolf's dog was hit, was it a family member or a domesticated descendant of his own species? Because either way, that's weird.
Number 6. Chica, FNAF 1. The original Chica obviously has to make the list for scariest versions. Although she is not an alternate and is considered the original version, she is still one of the scariest ones around. The one that first spooked us in comparison to the other versions when she jump scared us in the office, sneaking in with her Let's Eat bib on. Classic Chica will always remain one of the truly horrifying versions because she was simply there to scare us first, before any of these other versions showed up.
Halfway through into number 5, Scrap Toy Chica. As a proud member of the Toy Chica Bucket Club, seeing my girl scrapped really breaks my heart. The various versions of Scrap Toy Chica always put me on edge just because of the amount of exposed endoskeleton. These are damn creepy. No matter what, whether it be slightly destroyed, very destroyed, or hell even the withered Scrap Chica, it doesn't make me happy to look at it. I mean, this video was already going to make my history questionable to say the least, but this just makes me sad. There isn't really much else to say. It's Scrap Toy Chica, it's what you'd expect. Picture the glam rock Chica teaser image with her destroyed, but it's Toy Chica, and then boom, you got Scrap Toy Chica.
Number 4. Withered Chica, FNAF 2. So many alternates just in FNAF 2 alone. If you thought like me that no beak was terrifying, wait till you catch Withered Chica sneaking up on you. Oh boy, this version of Chica has multiple jaws, a head that splits in two just so it can open its mouth even wider than should be normal, and no hands, just wires. Granted, at least this lack of hands should mean a less dexterous model for if you actually had to fight it, but what it lacks in hands, it makes up for in rows of teeth, so yeah.
Getting close to the end in number 3, puppet stuffing. We as theorists have been running with the idea that William stuffed the bodies into the suits for 7 years. That in order to hide the bodies, William put them in the animatronics, and somehow the cops were too incompetent or were being paid off not to check them. But what if we were wrong? What if someone else had stuffed the animatronics? What if it was the puppet? I mean, this isn't a new idea. Map had suggested it when talking about FNAF 2 oh so long ago. In the Give Gifts Give Life minigame, we see the puppet giving presents to dead kids because it thinks they're sad. But when that doesn't work to liven their spirits, see what I did there? Instead, it gives them life. Only at this point do we see the animatronic heads of Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica. And what about Golden Freddy, you ask? Well, he's there, but he only appears for a few frames after you put the final head on and gets quickly covered up by the Golden Freddy jump scare. So there we go. Does that settle it? Well, we can't say for certain. Since this is only 8-bit, we could assume that they're only displayed as dead kids because Scott wants the audience to understand that, and it also doesn't make sense that the puppet would hide the bodies, basically giving William an out, especially being the daughter of Henry and highly intelligent, at least for an animatronic possessed by a dead kid.
Number 2. Nightmare Chica, FNAF 4. Of course, nightmare animatronics are always the scariest versions. Just look at all those sharp teeth. They aren't called nightmare animatronics for nothing. This version of Chica is truly the stuff of nightmares who fittingly first appeared in FNAF 4, where you play as a child trying to make it through the night by checking various points of interest in your room, where animatronics could be hiding in an attempt to avoid getting caught off guard by the nightmare animatronics who will presumably gobble you up. Or kill you in some gruesome way. Nightmare Chica has one dead white and one glowing red eye and holds a monstrous version of her cupcake on her plate. She is very tattered and her endoskeleton is visible through all the rips and tears of her exterior suit. Number 1. Jacko Chica, FNAF 4. More scary just because it is Halloween themed and also on fire. Most things are more frightening when they are on fire, and they put you at risk for also being set aflame just by being in their vicinity. Fire is scary. Jacko Chica also appears in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but in the Halloween edition. This version is a reskin of the Nightmare Chica, who is tattered with more prominent claws and is holding an evil looking pumpkin instead of her usual evil looking cupcake. She is also super tattered with a burning chest cavity and fiery orange glowing eyes. Are you scared yet?
And it's 10 Funtime Chica. Now before you go off on me for talking about Funtime Chica, before FNAF 6 there was no Funtime Chica, so any form of this character was actually fan-made. Like this fan-made teaser from Hero Golem on DeviantArt. The lack of beak already makes this version unsettling, but add in the Funtime's ability to move their faces at will, and you have some genuine nightmare fuel, and probably the least scary animatronic. And by that I mean scary in like a typical sense. Not to mention the different nightmare Funtime Chicas that I saw looking up Funtime Chica fan-made. It was a lot, and this is really something that I need to be careful of, because when I searched Funtime Chica fan art instead, I got an entirely different art genre than I was looking for. Like, come on Google, save that for my phone late at night when nobody's watching. And at 9, Nightmare Toy Chica. Nightmare Toy Chica is honestly what you'd expect from a nightmare version of your favorite chicken robot. All the glory of Toy Chica with the horror of a nightmare. The countless sharp teeth, stomach, mouth, torn body, even though they're toy and plastic, so it doesn't really make sense, exposed endoskeleton, the works. And those without a beak are even worse than you'd expect. You'd expect that without the beak there would be less teeth, but no, in fact they have the same amount. And they're ready to bite your head off. If anyone was going to have caused the bite of 87, it would be Nightmare Toy Chica, and not just because of Toy Chica's Ultimate Custom Night Deathline. Although that is a whole other can of worms for another day. And at 8, Twisted Toy Chica. Twisted Toy Chica is basically, if I had to describe it, which I do given that I chose this list and then put this on the list, would be Nightmare Toy Chica cranked up to an 11 and then squared. These things are horrific and they're all different in some way. One has boils all over with the classic nightmare aesthetic, one is covered in what looks like egg sacs, one has additional Toy Chicas and cupcakes coming out of their arms and back, and one is a combination of Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Freddy, and is one of the most unholy abominations that I've seen. This looks like it belongs in a Dormitibus game or alongside the creation and joy of creation. While the variety is incredible and the fact that each one is different is rare to say the least, they all end up being scary, but others are even scarier.
Number 7. Liberty Chica, FNAF AR Special Delivery. Liberty Chica was a skin that you could unlock around the 4th of July in FNAF AR Special Delivery this year. She is a version of Chica that looks like the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty herself coming to life is terrifying enough, as we saw in Ghostbusters 2, if you've watched Ghostbusters 2, and even then, she wasn't trying to hurt anyone in that movie. It was already freaky enough for me. Liberty Chica is worse than that. She also tends to be pretty stealthy and hard to hear, so it's very easy for her to sneak up on you and successfully jump scare you, which is terrifying.
And at 6, NSFW Chica. Yes, now it's nighttime on my phone when nobody's watching. And while we're just showing tame or normal Chica for this number, the amount of not safe for work chickens I've seen would even make Colonel Sanders shake with fear. It's scary to me how accurate Rule 34 is, if I'm being 100% honest. No matter what, if it is on the internet, there is some form of NSFW version for you to find. And that's pretty nasty, especially given that these are animatronic animals with the soul souls of dead kids possessing them. I think that I'm gonna side with PETA this one time and this one time only. If they made an adult video site that was Chica themed and filled it with animal cruelty videos instead, at that point I would understand, because it's basically the same thing as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not kidding, that's actually a thing they did. I mean, like, it wasn't Chica themed, but I'm sure you get the idea. The Chica not safe for work art is scary enough, okay? Look, if you're wondering why it's on this list, then you know why it's on the list. Halfway through into number 5, high school years. Do the high school years for Toy Chica actually represent the original missing children along with Charlotte? That's a good question. The series of intermissions revolves around Toy Chica and her desire to be with many boys in her school, including Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Pig Patch, Twisted Foxy, the Puppet, and Funtime Foxy, not in that order. While these aren't the original 5 animatronics, there are certainly some considerations to make here. Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Funtime Foxy, and the Puppet are fairly obvious. They each represent at least a version of their animatronic, whereas Twisted Fox and Pig Patch can be harder to place. The Twisted Fox is actually kind of simple, with them being the outlier and the most deceptive, like Golden Freddy, which would leave Pig Patch to be Chica's representation, since after all, she is the protagonist, and pigs and chickens are both farm animals. But this could also just be a symbol of how Chica was the first victim, and has seen even the puppet get killed, cause you know, she has body parts in her bag of all the people she's loved. Since I'm sure Scott knew that that would be a confusing line, perhaps this is his way of clearing it up. And for human withered Chica, there are no words for how this makes me feel. Look, I know I joke about Chica all the time and wanting to be with her, etc. Like, I even did the entire top 10 tastiest FNAF animatronics list specifically so I could make a joke that Toy Chica was the tastiest animatronic. If you haven't seen that video though, I highly suggest you watch it. I love that video, it's so funny. Nevertheless, this is wrong. Chica as a human is already a scary concept. Add to that the withered version with veins coming out of the arms instead of wires and a blood-stained dress. Emil Ines, however you say your name, I applaud you for your skill, but condemn you to the depths of hell for creating this and causing me to be so confused about what I should be feeling because of it. Like, what else could I say about this thing without probably getting myself in trouble with either one side of the internet or the other? Like, there's no winning here. I don't know. Why?
Number 3, Chica, FNAF VR Help Wanted. What could be more terrifying than a withered Chica? Well, how about a Chica that looks like you could just reach out and touch her? Yikes. Or more like she could just reach out and grab you. Even more frightening. With her one arm. In Help Wanted, Chica is one of the animatronics you have to fix up in parts and service. She is covered in food, and worse than that, she's filled with cockroaches. Yikes. Not only is that terrifying, but when she jump scares you or really even just moves slightly because this is VR, she proves to be one of the most horrific and nightmare-inducing versions of this character. I get scared when anything moves in VR, even if it's a happy game, I'm scared. I'm so easily scared of things.
Penultimately in at number 2, Sinister Chica. One look at Sinister Chica and you'll understand why they're in the number 2 spot, because they're going to make you number 2 your pants. Hailing from the unfinished fan game Sinister Turmoil universe, Sinister Chica was going to be one of the antagonists of that game. All the Sinister Turmoil animatronics are terrifying, and the fact that they are all terrifying makes them a staple on any of these lists at this point, once I discovered them in the last video. While we may have only gotten Sinister Turmoil sewers and a story demo instead of the full game, this is one of the reasons I'm happy that happened. Sorry developers, like, I'm not hating on you in any way, but I know for a fact that this would have made me unable to sleep for weeks. After playing FNAF VR, I already have to dive into my blanket after turning off my bedroom light, and like, it's a good jump, okay? This would just make me collapse. The lights would go off and I'd fall to the floor. Like, the slightest movement of a shadow and my sheets would go from red to brown. All because I don't want them to be red with my blood, okay? I have issues. Talking to my doctor. Not really. Finally, in at number 1, Havoc Chica. Do I even need to explain? Havoc Chica, aka Maria, is a Havoc animatronic that hails from the Dormitivus universe. She is the Havoc version of Chica, obviously, and is a failed attempt by the Havoc puppet to give her spirit a physical form. While having the same color scheme as Chica, the two look nothing alike, aside from a face and beak. The mask Havoc Chica wears has a good amount of damage done to it. Her right eye socket has grown in size, arcing upwards towards her feathers. The rest of her mask has small withering in a few places, mainly near her right eye socket and her forehead. She has no eyes at all, resulting in her being blind. Her jaw isn't directly connected to her head either, like Chica from FNAF 1. Instead, her jaw looks more like her withered counterpart. Her jaw has withering on the sides as well, and some towards the front. Her entire head is attached to a suitless limb segment, making her head stick out and away from her body, like you're seeing it now. It's grotesque and nauseating to look at. And before you ask, no, it's not because I took my meds without having breakfast, although that isn't helping. The bus ride getting here was rough. In its 10 first, Chica was the first and has seen everything, at least according to Ultimate Custom Night, since one of Withered Chica's voice lines quite literally says, "I was the first, I have seen everything."
I was the first. I have seen everything.
Which does mostly suggest that Chica was the first victim in the series. However, it may also suggest that she was the first of the missing children, with another potential victim before her. This is really the question that we need to ask. Was Chica's line about being the first victim ever, or about being the first of the missing children? Because while yes, it's a spirit, it's still the spirit of a child who would exaggerate the phrase seeing everything, especially when William would most likely have developed his MO after his first kill, his MO being the whole dressing up like Spring Bonnie thing. And coming up with an excuse to lure a kid away would require more confidence than someone who hasn't killed anybody would normally have, at least with normal serial killers. So could we have been right all along that Charlotte was the first victim? And if that's true, does that point towards William's original motivation? And at 9, the Bite of 87. The Bite of 87 is a still long-held debate in the FNAF community. At first, some thought that Freddy had caused it due to the handprint on his head. Then we suspected Mangle, and then Fredbear. However, one contender we never expected was Chica. This is a fairly dismissed theory, but there is a line from Toy Chica in Ultimate Custom Night that states, "Where's my beak? Lodged in your forehead, of course."
Where's my beak? Lodged in your forehead, of course.
It's important to note here that the Bite of 87 involves a character losing the frontal lobe of their brain to an animatronic bite. With the frontal lobe being at the forehead, this seems to indicate that perhaps Toy Chica is the one who caused said bite, especially when we know that FNAF 2 takes place in 1987 and there is no mention of a bite. This is also a reason why we thought that the culprit could be Mangle. There's also the issue of the hint that Scott gave MatPat and other theorists during one of MatPat's live streams. Why would Toy Chica be missing her beak? And maybe Scott answered that in this game, as he's known to do. And at 8, Hot Chicken Sandwich. Now I make quite a few jokes about the amount of unsafe for Virgin Mobile users Chica fan art there is, but was that intentional by Scott? I know this sounds crazy, but what was the point of making Chica thicker than Kim K eating a bowl of oatmeal in the second game? I mean, the game got so popular it warranted a sequel within 87 days, so why not reuse the same model instead of making one that would add to the increasingly hormonal fan art of the characters? What if it was to promote the game more? I mean, in a way, not safe for work fan art is a form of advertising, with these character drawings being shared across plenty of subreddits rather than just one specific to FNAF, and all over Imager with more tags like furry and whatnot. So could the slim thickening of Chica be an intentional game choice by Scott to get more foul fouls into the series? Like what I did there? I have no idea, but I mean the latest game was called Fury's Rage, and Scott even felt the need to point out that it was not Furry's Rage, plus the slim version of Chica has become the more used one, with Funtime and Glamrock Chica both using that same silhouette, so who knows? I think we all do.
Let's go somewhere more private.
Like in at number 7, Monster Chica. The Monster Chica animatronic, like Monster Freddy from the alternate fan versions of Freddy list, is a simple edit of the Monster Rat animatronic from the Five Nights at Candy series, which technically, if you consider the Fazbear Fanverse initiative, is still actually kinda canon, but it's still fan-made and therefore belongs on this list. The edit mostly consists of making the character yellow, adding a cupcake, and then changing the snout to a beak, but this is still terrifying to say the least. And not to mention the bolts coming out of its body body looking like spikes. It's horrifying. If the FNAF animatronics are my sleep paralysis demons, this one is taking the shift tonight. Like, it's freaking horrific. And there are some that look like Havoc Monster Chica, like Havoc Chica from Dermitibus combined with a monster version. And don't worry, you'll see Havoc very soon. But like, how is this a thing? Why is this my life? I give myself nightmares for a living. Thank God for Canada's free healthcare, otherwise my multiple heart attacks from seeing these things would cost me literally my heart otherwise. Like, I would have to sell my organs. And I'm not Shrimply Pibbles, I can't just have a dong be my heart. That was for you Rick and Morty fans out there. Season 5! And at 6, Fruity Maze. Fruity Maze is where we got the idea that the dead dog was what lured Chica away to her ultimate death, since in the Fruity Maze minigame we can see flashes of a girl playing the arcade game whenever we are playtesting it. However, as the maze levels continued, they also get more gruesome, showing dead dogs instead of fruit, and eventually having you trail bloody footprints behind you, which is horrible, but as the images get worse, so does the reflection, eventually showing the blonde girl crying with Spring Bonnie standing behind her. Once you complete the final level, we hear the horn of a car as text appears on screen, saying, "He's not really dead, he's over here, follow me," which is ultimately William luring us to our fate. Time ended. At least we get to see our dog again. There's actually another theory that Afton uses the dog to possess Mangle, and that's why Mangle's moving in FNAF 2 minigames, but also it was his first experiments with Remnant, but that's not a Chica theory, so I'll leave it at that for now.
Number 5. Toy Chica FNAF 2. Toy Chica first appears in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and while I'm sure she was intended to be designed as a fun-looking, plastic, more playable version of the original Chica model, she is actually even more terrifying. This version of Toy Chica seems to have also had all of her sharp surfaces removed, like her beak. Yeah, and let me tell you, having no beak or no nose or anything on a humanoid chicken, it's pretty freaky looking. Not only that, but her teeth are rectangular and oddly spaced, making her look even more freaky deaky Chica. And her eyes are dark and shiny, much more mysterious than the big, wide, purple pinkish eyes that we're used to seeing Chica with.
And at 4, Shadow Chica. One question a few people have had since FNAF 2 is, where is Shadow Chica? Why doesn't Chica have a shadow animatronic? Some consider this proof that these shadowy figures are works of the spring-locked versions of Freddy and Bonnie, since it's in essence the only thing that these two characters have in common, and it would explain why there is no Chica variant of the Shadows. But it doesn't explain Shadow Dee Dee from Ultimate Custom Night. I mean, I guess it's possible that the shadow animatronics are spring-lock victims or spirits kicked out of the various suits, but where could a possible Shadow Chica be? What if Shadow Chica is actually contained in the cupcake? Chica's cupcake has been confirmed to be an entirely separate animatronic, at least until Illumix comes out saying those fast facts aren't canon. But until that point, the reason for no Shadow Chica could just be that it had somewhere to go. Bonnie and Freddy don't have another animatronic, only a guitar and a microphone, and that wouldn't be enough for the spirit of a spring-locking victim or even one of Afton's victims. So could the fan named Carl the Cupcake be the secret Shadow Chica that we've been looking for? Getting close to the end, and at number 3, FNAF Plus Chica. FNAF Plus is a fan recreation of the first FNAF game funded by Scott with the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative, and will presumably be this timeline's version of the Fazbear franchise, since games like Five Nights at Candy's revolve around FNAF's history, and the joy of creation revolves around the game's history. FNAF Plus is meant to be a more intense and scary version of the first game, since a lot of fans complained about how the first one isn't scary anymore. But this version of Chica is messed up and all kinds of wrong. First of all, this version looks more like a little girl, which is going to cause a lot more messed up fan art, but also makes more sense given that she's possessed by the spirit of Susie, who died while still as a kid. But the head proportions, and the fact that it comes out like it has baby cheeks messes me up. Along with the fact that the puppet has a tuxedo and uses the candle as a top hat. What the hell? I find that even creepier if I'm being honest. I'm voice cracking, that's how bad this is. If you haven't watched these tapes, I suggest you do, because you'll understand what I'm talking about. It also looks like it would sound southern, you know? Finally, and at number 1, Susie. This is again all but confirmed at this point, basically being considered canon by basically everyone. However, it's still just a theory, at least until Scott confirms it. So let's humor ourselves, shall we? Who is the one possessing Chica? Most assume it to be a young blonde girl named Susie, thanks to FNAF 3 and FNAF 6 as well as the Fruity Maze minigame. FNAF 3's ending features the heads of the original 4 or 5 animatronics, depending on what ending you get, laying on the ground with lights either on or off in their heads, again depending on what ending you get. However, the placement of the heads is something to take note of, since the FNAF 6 Lorekeeper ending features the gravestone picture that also has a similar placement to the heads, with one remaining mysterious and away from the others, that is representing Golden Freddy behind the grass, and Cassidy, the whole shebang. The other graves go as follows: Gabriel, Fritz, Susie, and Jeremy, and the animatronic heads go Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Bonnie. And since the girl name and the girl animatronic are in the same place, we feel like it's pretty solid. Plus Susie in the books is described as blonde, and the blonde girl in Fruity Maze is like the only other blonde girl we see aside from Elizabeth, but she's in Baby and we already know that. Boom!